In this video, we're going to talk about Bitcoin on exchanges. It's hitting a new low currently. We're also going to talk about what we've been seeing from the spot Bitcoin ETFs. We'll look at this beside me, how much Bitcoin is left to mine, what's the halving schedule look like over the next few years, and so forth. And then we have PCE coming up at the end of the month. We'll talk about that, where it's been, where I think it's going. And we'll take a look at Bitcoin, see what it's doing on the chart. It is still near all-time highs, and it's still respecting its ascending channel. Everything I go over will be down below linked for you. And let's start here. How much Bitcoin is left to mine? Well, if you didn't know, Bitcoin is capped at 21 million Bitcoin, and the majority is already out in circulation. We currently have 93.3% of the total supply as of this month of May. This leaves 1.4 million Bitcoin yet to be produced or created, with these remaining coins taking years to finally produce. And this is all thanks due to the halving. The block reward basically gets cut in half every 4 years. This is called the halving. In 2009, the block reward was 50 Bitcoin, and every 4 years or 210,000 blocks, this reward is cut in half. And here's the schedule in a timeline, starting at 50 Bitcoin per block. And you can see how Bitcoin's issuance just slows down so much over time. By 2036, we will have 99.2% of all Bitcoin already produced, already out here in the public, under 1% of all Bitcoin left to be mined, and it'll take another 100 years, from the year 2036 to about 2140, getting finally to that 100%. This engineered scarcity is what makes Bitcoin so special, and this article draws some connections to Bitcoin and gold because of their scarcity. However, Bitcoin is even more predictable. We know every 4 years Bitcoin supply incoming gets cut in half. Bitcoin's issuance rate is always declining. This article also talks about lost coins and how this makes it even more scarce. Bitcoin's true circulating supply may be closer to 17 million, not the 21 million total. Also, of course, Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, his address holds 1.1 million Bitcoin. It also talks about when the last Bitcoin will be mined. This will be after our lifetimes, but still interesting. And it also briefly mentions Bitcoin mining and how this is becoming more and more of a renewable energy business. Between 52 and 59% of Bitcoin mining now runs on renewables or low emission sources. And jumping over to CoinGlass, this is showing the Bitcoin on exchanges. We are currently at 2.14 million. This is a new low. Our lowest low was here in February, where we hit down to 2.15 million, and then we kind of bounced. We are back down lower than there now. Soon Bitcoin will crack under 2 million coins. This Bitcoin balance will continue to drop. Bitcoin's scarcity makes it extremely valuable, especially moving forwards as block rewards get cut in half and less Bitcoin is mined as the years go by. The Bitcoin ETFs have been gobbling up Bitcoin as well. We saw $2.75 billion in weekly inflows. And this 2.75 billion in inflows is about 4.5 times larger than the previous week's 608 million. We did see some outflows from Grayscale, but the other funds made up for it. We saw an 89 million outflow from Grayscale, and ARK saw 73 million outflow. And there's a report that these spot Bitcoin ETFs are on their way to potentially surpass their monthly inflow record of 6.49 billion from November 2024. So far in May, these spot Bitcoin ETFs have accumulated approximately 5.39 billion. With 5 trading days left in May. They could definitely surpass November, but it'll be close in my opinion. And here's a quote by Crypto Dan on May 22. Overheating indicators such as the funding rate, short-term capital inflow remain low compared to previous peaks. Profit taking by short-term investors is currently limited. Bitcoin is not showing any signs of overheating despite reaching new all-time highs, pointing to fundamentals suggesting that Bitcoin could rise further. Now, speaking of Bitcoin, I'm keeping an eye on the RSI. I'm keeping an eye on this ascending channel as well. Right now, we are still respecting this ascending channel, and we have bounced off it a few times, still respecting it. This is still currently the trend until proven otherwise. We are either going to retest these all-time highs and break out, or we're going to retest this support line and break down, maybe come down to 106 or something. But we are looking at our beautiful golden cross. Every golden cross this cycle has been followed by a massive move up here, here, and again here. These typically are followed by the best times in Bitcoin. And this is why this golden cross is such a big deal. Of course, the past doesn't dictate the future, but so far, throughout this cycle, this is what we have seen, and this is what I do expect. A nice breakout and a continued move upwards, like we have seen after every golden cross. I'm also keeping an eye on the RSI for potential bearish divergence. If the price hits a new higher high, but the RSI hits a lower low, this would be the beginning of a bearish divergence, which is something we did see in a previous rally. But keep in mind, we have seen a more overbought RSI, so don't let that hang you up. Just because Bitcoin's RSI went a little bit overbought, we're currently hovering right around overbought, but keep in mind that we have seen a more extended RSI before it starts retracing. Definitely keep an eye on this ascending channel. It is a clear trend that Bitcoin is following. If it either breaks down, we might see a new trend emerge, or if we break up, we might head towards our top of this ascending channel, which could put us near $120,000. Now, one thing we do have coming up is PCE. Our last read was a 2.3%. This is coming out on May 30, the end of this month. If we can see PCE come in under 2.3, I think the market would continue to rally. There would be excitement of the potential for more rate cuts. Seeing this tick back up would bring in fear, would bring fear that maybe these tariffs are affecting things, would definitely bring more uncertainty and less likelihood of getting cuts from the Fed. So we really want to see this come in at least at 2.3% or under. That's at least what I would want to see, just to show that we are continuing kind of in a downward trajectory and not taking back up. We do have our next FOMC in June, and it is pretty much completely expected that we are not getting a cut. Likelihoods do increase for a cut in July, however, still like a 1 in 5 chance. The PCE data could slightly change this, but my assumption would be our first cut is coming in September. A 49% chance of a 25 basis point cut. And then going to the end of the year, looking like the most likely scenario is going to be 2 cuts, or roughly 50 basis points lower than the current Fed funds rate. But of course, upcoming PCE and next month's CPI, PPI can likely change these numbers, change these predictions or likelihoods. But how are you guys feeling about the market this week? We also, of course, have NVIDIA earnings. That's going to be very important. And we do have mining updates coming out for the Bitcoin miners in early June. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.